Hello, glass of cannabis. It's been a glorious year. I want someone in here to stand to their feet and tell me their best way to smoke. Who will it be? You are what's your name, girl?
Not him. It don't really matter when we all agree. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough.
What's up with y'all out there? This the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and you smoking with Big J.
Serpo Jr. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Please believe it. Yes, do that. And like we always do, man, we want to thank everybody that tap in with us and tune in with us, liking and subscribing and sharing, and commenting on our content. We appreciate y'all like a motherfucking, you know what I mean? And look, we want to shout out Kelly Gar, the glue gar. Bam, nigga, no drip lip. So you use this when you rolling your shit up. You get no drip lip. You twist it up, or like you see in the video right here, you could put it in the roller. Put the little glue on it and roll it up. You don't have to use no spit. So if you add a sesh, you ain't got to worry about smoking on somebody's spit.
Mm-hmm. Or if you having your own little private little get on or whatever, and you having your rolling little joints and stuff for your guests or whatever it may be, that's another little cool way to use it. I got several guests coming. You know what I'm saying? It ain't none of my spit on y'all joints. I did it with the Cali guard. No,
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No
Or
spit.
or if you know somebody that breath be stanking and humming, because there's motherfuckers out there like that. Hey man, roll that up. Here, use this though. You ain't got to use no spit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, shout out to Kelly Gar.
Shouts out.
We moving on to the Best Way to Smoke tip, and the tip for today is if you smoking on a budget, save your roaches, because they will come in handy. You know what I mean? So if money is kind of tight, like we all done been here before, if your money kind of tight, man, put them roaches up. Man, don't smoke them to the nub either, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have no little bitty ass roaches with the paper and some residue. You know what I mean? So save a little something up in there, slide them to the side for the rainy day.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We all done went through the little roach stage. But then again, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got the stoners to where it's like, ain't no roach. We smoking them things down to they stingers.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, that be the motherfuckers with the burnt lips and shit. Fingernails be brown and shit. Lips
Yeah,
be
my shit
tipping.
ain't brown, so I ain't taking
You know
that
what
to
I
no
mean?
stingers.
But you definitely got them, that want to smoke it to the nub though.
Smoking on a budget, say those roaches.
Yeah, and that's the Best Way to Smoke tip. Look, so it's a lot of things going on with the different laws being passed and things being put into place. So we want to highlight today Joe Biden pardoning a lot of people for small federal cannabis possessions, which is definitely a good thing. It's the step in the right direction with November's election coming up and them being able to vote to decriminalize cannabis on a federal level. For this to happen the month before that happens, I think it's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That it might go on and roll over and turn over. But I think it's a lot of people that's still like that's out of the way of this that really won't be affected by it. Because it's a small percentage of people that was incarcerated in the feds for small cannabis possession. Man, you go to the feds, it's pounds and this and that. It's big shit though. So it's a small percentage of people that was really affected by it. But I think the biggest point from that I took was the fact that he recommend states to do the same thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they putting it in the hands of the states, to take them same steps. And we in a place like California that's kind of doing that, know?
Yeah, and it's cool because it's like if this is like brought to attention on a federal level, like if if it's decriminalized on the federal level and people with small marijuana possessions of such on a federal scale, that opens the door for small states,
Mm-hmm.
to come in and try to copy certain things according to them,
Mm-hmm.
according to the states. But by this being federally passed, that opens the door. It should make it, like, I'm not gonna say that much easier, but the guideline and everything to like get that started for the marijuana possessions that we speaking of, it should be like a lot easier on the state level.
Right, right. And I mean, and just think about a lot of this on the state level when we
Mhm.
talking about these different states that's already moving in that direction. Elections is coming up. So you definitely want to make the people happy. And
Mhm.
this is something that was big on the president's and the vice president's agenda. To this was something they was pushing in their campaign run. That they was going to push to get weed federally decriminalized and to pardon a lot of people and clear up a whole bunch of things. And if you really dig deep into it, into how it affected the black community, the black and brown community, people of color, period, just being arrested and just the hindrance on your life, the setbacks,
Yeah.
the things that you wasn't able to get into, and just think about, just bettering yourself, going to school to get loans and shit like that. Not necessarily loans, but financial aid and stuff like that. Things that can help you along and progress in life. Having certain convictions and a conviction like that sets you back from being able to get them benefits that will be out there for you to get.
Yeah, especially with it being like Schedule 1. So if like how you say, if you are trying to go to like one of these top notch colleges and apply for like aid or even certain scholarships
Yep.
that may be offered to you.
Yep.
And it's like, if this may be there by it being related to a Schedule 1 drug next to heroin, cocaine, they're gonna be looking like, I'm not looking at just it being cannabis or
Right.
marijuana. This is like Schedule 1 something. I don't need this like associated with us.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's kind of cool, because it's like we done stressed it a whole lot of times. It can be just like a recreational moment to where it's like an athlete, like a high school athlete we're speaking of, and it's like you can have this scholarship to one of the best sports academic colleges,
Yep.
like around in your state that offer. And it's
Mhm.
like, just because it is, oh no, you can't come up in here. So by this being passed now, and it's like from certain people missing opportunities from before, like now in the future, is balancing the scales low key.
Right, because them people that's going to get the chance, that's going to be affected by the pardon to have their record expunged.
Mhm.
Hopefully they ain't got no other motherfucking charges that's
Yeah,
going
it's
kind
only
of
for the
right. It's
for the
only
marijuana.
specifically for for the marijuana, and like they said, it's like I think the majority of people that's locked up in the feds, it was more things to come along with their case, even if it involved cannabis. You know what I'm saying? On that level. So I think, like, man, it's a good thing, but it's kind of like they want something. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, oh, we doing this for the people, because it would have been something that would have been done in the beginning. Remember, they just stayed quiet about it.
Mhm.
Every time they was in the news, Kamala and Biden, they did not answer the question about it early on. We're worrying about this now, and just kind of moving on from it though. But now it's like it's out there, man, and it's like, because they want something. They want to get them people elected, them certain people elected in office that's pushing this.
Yeah, I believe so too. And like to back up a little bit more, you think like some of these federal like marijuana cases could be as like, I've caught a federal charge and then I may have made parole or probation or whatever it may be, and then it's like I may get into a traffic stop or however it may be, and it may be marijuana in my possession. And then I go back, and then it's like, say this may be my third time or something, and at the time of it, it's like it's a Schedule 1 substance, as they say.
Right.
And it's like, so does this right here, like for small marijuana possessions that we're speaking of, now this is small. Now, I may have caught a federal charge before in the past,
Right.
but now I am now home. I'm on parole or probation, whatever it may be. I'm doing everything I need to be doing as a citizen,
Right.
and then it's like, all right,
But you still on parole or probation.
yes,
Okay.
and then it's just like so happen. It's like, all right, I get found with like a bag of weed, something. I'm gonna just say like less than 5 grams or something, but you want to charge me federally,
Right.
and then
Because
it's
you're
like,
on federal probation.
yes.
Right.
Now I'm gone for years now because now this at the time, which is a Schedule 1. Now this is my last time. So now I'm up here, I'm sitting for a little minute. But now that this is it's on the verge of being decriminalized federally, does that count there?
I would hope so. And that's a good question. And that's something I really would want. I really want to know that answer, because if somebody's already has a conviction on parole or probation and then get caught with the cannabis,
Mhm.
I mean, the obvious would say you fucked up because it still is a Schedule 1 drug. It still is what it is at this moment right now, and you chose to have it in your possession and you got caught.
Mhm.
And you're on probation and with something that you're not supposed to have. So then that's the catch to where it's gonna always go that way. You know what I mean? But I hope it gets, get to the other way to where it's decriminalized to where if it's a situation like that,
Yeah.
a person won't be caught up getting extra time just because they have 5 grams of weed or some shit like that and they are on parole or probation. And I know it's a lot of niggas I know that's like on parole and shit. They don't even trip off weed and shit no
Yeah.
more like that, you know?
Yeah, but you do have those certain instances to where it's like if it's federal or state, you have some parole officers, probation officers, or police's period that's like assholes.
Right.
Like you already on paperwork, so come on in. This is a reason, I can put this to my docket. You know what I'm saying? Getting something up under here. So it's like I brought that up to say because since this is speaking of prior marijuana offenses, so and it's like we were just talking, you gotta have some type of validity for it to be a federal just straight marijuana charge.
Right.
So it's like it just made me think if I'm on federal probation and then I get caught with like maybe a bag of weed, a couple grams or something, then all right, I can see it being like a federal whatever it may be. Does that apply there because it's a small marijuana possession priorly?
Right.
And then it's like and I'm bringing it up to say because if they doing that federally, it may come down state-wise.
Right.
Like I can be on state probation or parole or whatever it may be, and then I just got caught smoking a joint or a dirty drug test.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For
Concerning
marijuana.
marijuana. And it's like now I'm back up in there. So it's like it's a lot of different factors to come into play, not only for us out here in the free world, to reap some of these benefits. You got some of us that really like lost time because of some of this. You know what I'm saying? Small. That's what they say, small. And it's like, that's the only thing that I can think of coming from my view, only from my perception of a small resulting into something big like that.
Right. And I think it really should have attacked a larger scale versus it should have been anybody with a cannabis charge without the violence and stuff, because they pushing that though. But the way the laws is changing, and like just say per se like in California and stuff like that though, with violent crimes and stuff, and certain other states is already pushing in that fashion too. So you would think all cannabis charges at some point should be wiped away. Maybe it might be something that you might have to petition to get taken off because it was other circumstances that was connected to that case, to that weed case and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
So I hope it's a lot of stuff they got to figure out, and gotta really get together. But I'm glad it's moving in that direction. And it's a small step, hopefully, and then hopefully we get them big leaps and shit.
Yeah, that's a 2-step process too, though. Like how you say they have to get it together. It's like even like on the side of like people that want to get their stuff like sealed and taken off. You have to go and like do your own footwork, your own self. So it's
Facts.
it's like they putting this up here for the public, for the citizens, for us to know. Now, since we know, they may not spend hella hours, hella days on it to like break it down to like for you.
Yep.
But I'm presenting it to you.
Yep.
So since it's being presented to you, it's up to us to like, if it apply, to go in, do your research and be like, man, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah, I can't get this, you know what I'm saying, washed off.
Yep. Yep. And I'm gonna say it again though. It's definitely a good thing. I just think they doing it because the midterms and with the elections because they want something, and it's in a way it's something good, but it's small though in that realm because I read something that said it's probably about maybe 6,000 people federally that's going to affect. You know what I mean?
Man, that's like a needle in a haystack.
Right, like federally. So if you open up the scales a little wider, then it's definitely going to affect more people that was involved in cannabis cases. But it definitely highlights that, and I know it's a lot of people fighting to get it that way, to where it's a multitude of cannabis cases, not just small cannabis cases. Because you got people that probably done got caught up with a couple pounds. A small cannabis case may be an ounce, or what can you legally have now? What an ounce or something?
An ounce, some places 2.
Right, some places 2 ounces. So anything over that's probably considered bigger than a small offense. That's not a small offense. So anything under that 2 ounces, that's probably a small offense. So it's I hope a lot of these states take it on, but take it a little further than what the feds is doing, because they got access and got right to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. It shouldn't even be at this point anyway. You
Right.
know, like to have to go into detail or to figure this out about cannabis.
Right.
It's really harmless.
Right.
But we here in this little twist, this little tug of war, of like, oh, you need to do this. Once we legalize this, we can do that. Oh, then once we do this, we can. But it's like, it's just, as you say, every time it comes around re-elections, the cannabis community is real, real big. And it's like they just make it bigger than what it is come election time.
Mm-hmm.
Once everything is like, all right, we voted on something, they be like, all right, now we just put this stack of files into this file to move somewhere next. And it's like, if we put in our vote, like, let us reap the benefits of like what we voting for. You know what I'm saying? Don't just like keep putting it on the back burner, and then it's on the back burner to the next re-election time. Now the next re-election time, we got this on here, and then you get people like us amped up, like, ooh, they putting this up on the bill. You know what I'm saying? Prior, you know what I'm saying? Marijuana offenses, we finna get up off of this.
Yep.
All right, we voted. All right, we voted so we can put the bill on the ballot.
Yep.
And then the bill is going to sit on the ballot until next election term or something of the sort.
Yep.
That it shouldn't go that route.
Hey, Solomon, what's your opinion on that as far as what Biden did so far?
Yeah, I like it. You guys have to remember, a lot of times states will use the excuse of the federal government to not do something, right? And so what Biden is doing, in my opinion, is he's giving the states permission or taking away that excuse for them to continue to have this harsh line on these convictions. So I feel like that's a good step, and historically that's what's happened. The government sort of takes away their federal thing, and then the states can then say, okay, well, if the government's not enforcing this at this level, we can follow that lead, and then we can sort of do things for our states. So we hope at this point states will take that on. To another point to what you guys were talking about, and I assume it sounded like you were referring to like almost like a 3 strikes law, probation violation or something, where weed was that last one.
Yeah.
The only thing I could see happening with that is if they don't look at it as a weed charge, they look at it as a probation violation charge. And if they use that as the excuse of probation violation, then they could say,
They're going to
well,
book you.
yeah, they're going to say it doesn't apply to you.
Mhm.
So, and I think that may be, the individual states doing that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yet, still, it should be like, even though it's a probation, before that is state probation or federal probation.
Right.
So even though it may be that probation or parole violation, it's still a state regulation
Right.
or a federal regulation that's regulating that individual. So whether it may and again, it's still only Serpo Jr.'s opinion. I just feel as if all right, if you were on for any type of crime it may be, as far as because they say non-sex offenders, we already know we're getting down right there.
Yep.
But it's say you were there on a violent crime, say you committed a robbery and you brandished a weapon. You didn't use the weapon, but you brandished it. They'll consider it. It's all right, there was a firearm involved. It's violent.
Yeah, for sure.
You do your time and you come home. You working, you doing everything that you do, but it's man, I just smoked me a joint. I got a couple grams left over. And then, all right, parole probation violation result to that. So then if it's a parole violation or something, you shouldn't strike me out.
Right.
I shouldn't get all of this time. It should just be the violation.
Right.
And even if that is the case, and you're there, because it's we don't know the circumstances that individuals go through once in there.
Right.
Because of this small little stuff. Now that they're in there, it's certain things take place and certain things grow or whatever it may be.
Right.
But the root of it is I was doing cool, but you put me back inside the lion's den for a couple grams, and that's where I'm weighing it at. It's all right, certain things may transpire, but it's here because of this.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, do that apply here? Because it's I didn't have no big old whatever. And I'm just speaking metaphorically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, man, they got to do something about that. We shouldn't even be having these type of conversations.
Right. But it's been a conversation in the urban community for a long
For
time.
a long time.
It's something that we've dealt with or know people that have dealt with. Just imagine a nigga in the hood or something. You know what I'm saying? Chilling and shit though. Police roll up. Nigga on parole. One of the homies on parole. He got a couple blunts and maybe 5 grams on him and shit though, and they book him. You know what I'm saying?
Gone.
And they book him, and that's a violation. You out of here, 6-month violation. You gone. So I think, like Solomon said too, though, I think it'll kind of stay under them rules if you're on parole or probation, because you living by a whole nother set of rules if you're on parole or probation. Mm-hmm. You're not living by necessarily a free person's rules because you're not really free.
That's for you hear that? You living by, you ain't living by citizen rules.
You
but
really
living by
not.
other rules. Both of them,
man,
you being
really
ruled
not.
by something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The land of the free.
Man, the land of the free. But I'm glad we're in a place like California that's ahead of the crowd when it comes to cannabis, when it comes to this weed. Because look, we always had the best weed around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? On the West Coast, California. But just to see that Governor Newsom is moving along with it, and just like for him, though, he wants something. It's election time is coming. You know what I mean? He wanna hold that spot down. But he's doing a lot of things that's benefiting. You know what I'm saying? Black and brown people.
Yeah, that's true. But it's it's like with the saying, man, it's election time. So it's
That's real
let's
shit,
try
though.
to gather some stuff together. It make you kind of look at these governmental officials the fuck you want from me? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, vote.
Yeah, but once you put the vote in, you putting this shit on the back burner.
Yeah, but
We voting to get a bill on the ballot or the ballot on the bill.
But it's not
however
even
the fuck
us
it go.
that's pushing. It's not our votes that's pushing it along. It's the other people behind the scene. It's them pushing it forward. It's not the voters.
So the in-house is having this little fight.
They at the end of the day, they got the push.
Yeah. And
They got they the ones gonna push it over to make it happen.
This happens every election, though. This happens with
Every
lots of
election.
stuff every election.
And it's just so happens now the big topic is fucking weed. This is the big topic right now. This is what the fucking society, this is what we want. We want to legalize this shit. We want to be able to stand outside and smoke our shit. We want to be able to go to the club or something and blow on our shit. We want to go have dinner at certain restaurants and be able to blow our shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We want to be free with this shit.
With tobacco and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? You can have a drink at any restaurant.
Right,
They got a tobacco smoking area pretty much at any restaurant.
Right, so once this is legalized, it's going to be, once it's decriminalized on a federal level, then it'll be the same effect when it comes to marijuana. It'll be smoking sections. You could go smoke your weed.
That'll be cool. I think society would be a lot more peaceful.
If everybody was high?
Pretty much.
For sure. So look though, man, talking about Governor Newsom, Governor Newsom signed about 1,000 bills into law. So we got a lot of bills in the law. And one we wanted to highlight that kind of hit home for us is Senate Bill 731, which expands the law to include felony convictions except for sex offenses. So what this is as of right now, if you have a non-violent felony, you can go get your record sealed. You can go to the court, petition the court to get your record sealed. If you have a violent felony, you cannot at this time go get your record sealed. And even if it happened a long time ago, you cannot go in there and get your record sealed. But with Senate Bill 731, it expands that law to where a person that has a violent crime, that has completed parole or probation and has not been arrested within 4 years, can go petition the court to get their record sealed, which will give them a lot of their rights back, and it'll help them in as far as getting jobs, even going to find an apartment or buying a home and shit. Though some spots is doing background checks to, checking your criminal background on top of your credit and shit like that.
Yeah, and I was looking at it too though. It also say some over 200,000 Californians who have completed their sentence for nonviolent felonies and have stayed out of legal trouble for at least 4 years will automatically have old conviction records sealed.
Don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, when the new law takes effect next year.
Yep.
And it's according to the Alliance for Safety and Justice. Y'all can look that up, Alliance for Safety and Justice, and see what they talking about right here. And it's I'm not quite sure on how it go, but I've been in trouble before. And I was thinking it was a 7 to 10 year some type period.
Right.
To where it's you stay out of trouble. Some of that stuff, it's it wasn't it'd be sealed, but it wouldn't be used against you.
Right.
In certain aspects of
getting a job.
Yeah.
Because California's 7 years.
Getting a house and stuff like that. That's what I was thinking. But a lot of that shit wasn't being applied. They'll still pull it up and use it against you.
Right.
And it's what this is, they saying it's 4 years.
Yep.
And it's to the people that been out there, say 24 years.
Man.
Not in no trouble, no nothing like that. And probably don't even have the time. I'm so busy doing good or whatever, living the life that I'm living. Nah, I don't really need or have the time to go and seal this. That's gonna automatically drop off your record.
It should.
You know what I'm saying? No, it said.
Yeah.
It says it's gonna do that for Californians. I don't know about outside of this.
Oh, with nonviolence.
Yes,
and shit.
with
Yeah,
nonviolence.
sure,
I don't know. And non-sex offenders.
Yeah, non-sex offenders.
And that's for the Californians.
That was a high
here.
moment. I got you.
That's for the Californians.
Right.
I'd have made a mistake. It may have been a felony mistake. non-sex offending,
Right.
and is hey, I'm doing my job, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not even thinking about the past.
Yep.
So it's gonna automatically fall off for you.
Yep.
And even for the person that is thinking about that and is trying to do something different, maybe career-wise, or even like I want to live somewhere different.
Yep.
And it's like you looking at this on my record, man, you can get that sealed.
Yep.
And I think they only say what? It's only sealed from what? The only people can see it is like what the police,
The police
and
and
like schools.
schools. Yep. For sure, for sure. Hey, can you pull up the application so people can see what the application look like? So in January, it's supposed to open up to where you can take this application to the court. As far as that's when it becomes law, you can take to file the paperwork, and everything actually supposed to take effect as far as in through the courts in July of next year of 2023. So the application is a CR 180 form. So I'm pretty sure you can probably go down to your local court offices, courthouses, or look at the Alliance for Safety and Justice. Check out that website.
Or you can just Google it and
Yeah.
and it's a fillable form online. You could just print it out.
Yep, and print the form out, man, and get it filled out, and wait your turn, and slide up in there, man, because it's definitely a good thing to have this going on because it'll allow. And I would say I would advise anybody that's that qualifies for this to take a shot at it, to go if you have violence on your record, because man, it could have been some bullshit.
It could be reduced.
Man, it could be reduced, man, and you can get the shit off your record, and it'll open up a lot of doors. And just think about a youngster, right? Just think you 21, 22, you get caught up, you go to jail, now you got this on your record. For a lot of people, man, I done seen it, I done been there. You can feel discouraged to where like, man, I can't do this, I can't do that, you know what I mean? But this is an opportunity to where, when you 21, 22, okay, boom, I stay out of trouble 4 years, 2 years, 4 years. Man, I get this by the time I'm 25, I'm back on track to where I should have been going. So it's even for an older person, man, it's a good thing to be able to get this sealed and close that shit up, because it opens up opportunities for business loans, for schooling, for all kind of different shit though, I hope it opens up an opportunity for to allow people that qualify to own firearms and shit like that too. Though that's definitely something that that I'm gonna look in. We gonna look into that to find out if it affects it in that way. But I think based on our conversation, we kind of assume that it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when they doing the background check, it's not like a federal check, it's a state.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's
if
a
I'm
state
not
check.
mistaken, it's certain, like if you get a felony period, it
Right.
don't even have to be a violent felony.
Right.
It's like they kind of strip you of that amendment right to
Yup.
bear arms.
Sure.
And it's like if this is the case, certain felonies and stuff like that is being sealed, and it's like and this is just from my understanding of the sealed.
Right.
It's like it's sealed. It's like pretty much it's a wrap. That doesn't count anymore. That chapter of my life
Gone.
is closed.
Yep.
It's in the past. You know what I'm saying? All these words mean like it's behind me. It's
Yep.
not there anymore. I moved on. So, and it's like, if I done moved on from that, it's like, man, I should be able to gain my citizen rights, my amendment rights.
Yep.
And that's part of it. And it's like a lot of us don't even have violence on our records. We may
Yep.
have the felonies,
Yep.
but you may not have the violence that's actually like stripping you from that.
Yep.
So, and it's like up in that application, if you even not sure, it got like the little sections there to where you can go to your local justice system, center or court or
Get
whatever
some
it
legal
may be.
aid. Get some
Yeah,
legal
to
aid.
get that, and it's like you can see it and you can do the research on your case while you free, even though it may be passed or whatever it may be. Because we speaking of sealing certain things in an event of sealing this stuff to be presented bigger and better opportunities.
Yep. For sure.
So
for sure.
it's like it's good all the way around if you have that intention.
Yep.
and it's here for you. You know what I'm saying? You just got to put in them little footsteps.
Yep.
And it's like, not to stray off, but it's just my humble opinion that like those amendment rights should be reimbursed.
Should be granted, man. Give it back to us.
Really?
You know what I mean? Because like, you know, I'm a person that's been affected by it, so I'm a I'm gonna go down there. I might have hit myself in the chin, pop. But I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna do it. I'm you know, I done printed the application out. I'm gonna fill it out, get all my shit together, and I'm gonna document the journey. You know, just to see how it's
I'm gonna go along
just to
with
see
it
how
too.
see how the process is moving, how it moves, and all
I
that.
would want to be in that first group because it's like we voting for what? Well, October, September, what, next month and a half or so.
Yep.
And it's going to take effect January 1st. You can start doing your application as far as like seeing if you can get this stuff going, getting the ball rolling. And as far as the beginning of sealing records, they say what, July 2023?
Yep.
So that's a good like 6-7 months, you know, that you can get the ball rolling, find out the research, get all your little ducks lined up.
Because it's gonna be a lot of people. I believe it's gonna be a lot of people.
A very extreme lot of people.
Right. Because you got to think about, like, you know, I keep talking about the youngsters. It's gonna be parents that's up on this shit that's gonna be pushing their youngsters to go get their record sealed up because they might have an opportunity. Like, boy, you done fucked up. Now you can't come work up here with me and shit like this or whatever. You know what I mean?
And even some of those G's out there, you know, it's like, even though it's like they out here doing good, they living their life, but it's like, I don't know, just my opinion, it's like if they can get their record sealed, it's like, that's a couple more pounds lifted up off my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I really don't have to worry about like those past events like fucking with me.
On everything.
You know, that's to the OGs, you know?
On
It's like,
everything.
because it's like I'm in my 30s. I'm in my like mid to late 30s, you know, and it's like I have my fair share with the law.
Right.
You know, and it's like I know how like that may feel. Now, and it's like to my OGs out there that's like, you know what I'm saying, striving to do better.
Yep.
You know, and it's like to get that sealed so they can actually keep pushing. Man, some of it can be like they in their 50s and 60s. Man, I ain't been this legit since the 70s or the 80s.
On the real.
You know, that's like, man, that's like a personal feeling right there.
For real.
The inside, that'll be like, man, I feel even better to even do better. You know?
On the real.
So it's like, man, this gonna hit a whole lot of people.
On the real. But you know what's a trip though? Like me personally, I feel like even all the shit I done been through with the system and all that, it never really stopped me from moving in whatever direction I was trying to move in.
No.
You know, because I was always been the type of person that's persistent and, you know, in something that I want to do and something that I want to get to. So I was able to maneuver even before I got my, I always talk about this shit though, even before I got my GED. You know, I dropped out of high school and shit, you know what I'm saying? And being in the streets. Then I, you know, started getting into making money and shit like that. And that was the move, you know? But it took a while for me to figure out like what my next step would be. You know, so and looking at that in a direction that I was going, I was like, man, I gotta move a little different, you know?
And that's like a badge of honor, you know, because it's like if you walk that route right there, a lot of people don't have like the willpower, you know, to like come up and be like, man, I don't got no high school diploma, I don't got this, so fuck it.
Yeah, it didn't stop nothing.
Yeah, you had that willpower to come up, like get a solid trade. You know, I know something, I continue to learn something. That's like a badge of honor.
Hey, look,
you know?
the only reason why I went and got my GED was before my kids started graduating high school and shit though, because I ain't want them to be like, Pops, you ain't you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get my GED. That's the only reason why I went and got my shit, because like I said, I was always able to maneuver and to do things and stuff, and my criminal record didn't hinder me because of the route that I chose to take. I was in prison plotting on, you know, what I'm gonna get into when I get out. You know, that's why I got into the career that I got into. You know what I mean?
My little GED story, because I got a GED too.
Right.
It wasn't like in the lines of like the reason why you got yours. It's like I think I took my GED maybe my daughter was born October 31st.
Right.
I may have took that GED maybe like on within the 20th or like within like October 20th, 25th or some shit.
Right.
And I didn't get the results until like November sometime.
Right.
So it's like I got that like before she was born because it's like that too was like kind of there because I missed the high school. I missed that stage fucking up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, man, it's
Yeah,
like,
I had 9th grade and 10th grade, and that was it.
I ain't even like shit. I ain't even go to the ninth. Like the ninth, that was like
Compton High. Man.
I be wishing I went to high school to go to the proms and shit.
I was supposed
that.
to go to
Like,
Dominguez though, but I couldn't though, cause you know, some shit.
I don't know what high school I could have went to.
Yeah. Man.
Bad motherfucker.
Man.
No, but you know, I got that shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like back on the topic, it's like even though like you came up out of that shit and it's like for those of us that do, because that shit, it like I'm not gonna say I had a job before, like the GED shit, but like really I did. You know, because it's like I came home from YA and it's like I didn't have no high school diploma, no shit like that. I had all the credits, but like in the wrong areas.
Right.
And it's like I was already like in my 20s and shit. At that time, I was really like, shit, I don't have it now. Fuck it. I don't got no kids though.
Right.
But I had the job. I was getting, you know what I'm saying? I was getting my paper. I was getting it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like I came back into another situation to where it's like, all right, I just took advantage of it. And it's like it didn't slow me down. And it's like with this right here, I just believe going to get this sealed, it may not hold people back like you know what I'm saying? I got that ambition to push forward, but it'd just be like, oh, that's another badge to my jacket.
On everything.
You know what I'm
On
saying?
everything.
Like I can overcome whatever the fuck you throw at me, I can overcome this shit.
Man, give me my rights back, though.
You feel me?
For real, though. Look, another bill we want to highlight before we get up out of here, too, though, is Governor Newsom signed another bill where rappers' lyrics can't be used against them in cases and shit like that, though. We definitely think that's a hell of a step because I think it's other states that's people trying to push in that way. But as of right now, it's only really California that I heard of that did that took that step.
I don't see how you can do that anyway because it's like,
man, they
to my knowledge, like I thought like music, whether it was rap, hip hop, today's age of rap or whatever it may be, I really thought it was like entertainment. This is a form of entertainment. Not taking no jabs at any other rappers or the singers that's out there, but I just really thought like, you know, some of it may just be pump up music, man. I'm talking, I can tell a story any which way I want to. You know, it shouldn't be like, oh, I told a story that just so happened to match this or whatever the hell it may be. You know, language changed throughout the years. People like develop.
Yep.
You know, and it's like I don't think that's fair that you can use something that like, all right, this is like entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. Like, how you gonna use something that I entertain with to like use and make?
But you know where I think niggas fuck up at though is using names, smoking hookah, doing this, doing that. I mean, like how motherfuckers be like really using people names that's dead and telling the story of how the nigga got and all that kind of shit though.
Yeah, see, and it's like
so you
shit
gotta
like
be
that,
smart.
It's kind of like
you gotta be smart about your shit too.
You put yourself in that position, but then again, I can't be the one to say like you shouldn't be able to use rap against the person. If you're sitting there telling on yourself or whatever it may be, it's like you. Like who in their right mind to want to do that shit anyway? If you do that, man, you probably deserve to get a foot stuck up your ass.
You telling on yourself.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, your average rap person, you trying to like use their rap lyrics against them, it's like, it's a whole lot of people that'll be like going down. You know, I don't think that's cool. Like, use it for entertainment purposes only. Whatever the rapper or whoever it may be.
Damn, but look though, like think about some rap back in the days, right? Like the NWAs and
Banging on Wax.
Just think about like MCA. No, I'm saying like how when niggas, except like when motherfuckers was really beefing with each other though, but niggas wasn't really saying people names like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like to where you can really incriminate yourself in some shit though. You know? I ain't gonna say it was subliminal, but it was a little more like storytelling type shit though, versus like nigga telling a true story. You know,
Yeah.
it was more like
If you spoke
fictional,
that
but you could
language,
relate though.
yeah,
You know
if
what
you
I'm
spoke
saying?
that
But,
language, you would know and you can relate.
right.
But it's like over time, like people told the inside language. And once
Man.
the inside language was told, you know, that's when certain shit was getting flipped.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like just how you say, like MC8, like I can't like voice his raps like straight up like that, but that's one of the rappers that like I like him like coming up.
everything.
Like just the vibe of it and the storytelling that he do.
Yep.
You know, even though he coming up out of Compton, I'm from Watts, it's like I know it. You know, like I scooted around on the skateboard on my knee pushing and
Yep.
shit like that.
Even
and
Cam though.
I can who?
Cam.
I don't know. If that's a new rapper, I don't know.
Nah, for real. He from Watts.
I don't know that rapper.
He used to fuck with Cube and shit back in the day. You don't know about Cam?
I don't know.
Oh, cuz I'm gonna put you up on Cam, man.
I don't know. Is that the one like Q was dissing in that little song?
Yeah. But they used to fuck with each other.
In that
though.
instance, I only know the one song.
He from Watts though. He a Watts
From
baby.
about the Front Street area, I think.
Yeah, he a Watts
I know.
baby.
Yeah, I know
He
you're talking
hard
about.
though. Like,
But I'm not
lyrical
real
and
versed
shit.
on his songs as I am on MCA though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Even
will say
DJ
that.
Quick though.
I'm up on that.
Hard as a motherfucker.
Cam, I'm not up on
Yeah.
like that.
Check
I only
him
know.
out though.
I only know about the one song that he made. Like I forget it. It's on the tip of my tongue though, but I forget. And Q came back and got on him.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
one I know about, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But look, though, I'm gonna next time we come back, though, I'm gonna put him up on Cam, though, man. You know, it's a West.
I ain't from that side of Watts.
We gonna leave it at that, though.
Nah, shouts out, man.
Man, but look, though, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us, and again, we want to say shout out to Cali Guard, man. They glue guard. This shit right here work. If you don't want the drip lip,
Stop smoking spit.
man, stop smoking spit, man. Best Way to Smoke podcast, Big J.
Serpo Jr., make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Best way.